Hi guys, this is the second tutorial video for planning tools, for project management tools. If you haven't seen the first one, the introduction, that covers a little bit more in a broader sense, then please do. This video is definitely looking at how you do the analysis and the critical analysis of planning tools. And then I will create another video very shortly about setting up your project schedules and then reflecting on them. That will be video number 3. Anyway, so this is your culinary concepts, indigenous ingredients. Now, obviously, if you're looking at this at any other time, the theme might be different. It might not be indigenous ingredients. However, the process remains exactly the same. So, planning your project management, task 1 is specified here, analysing existing project management tools. That's the first thing you're going to do. Now, that is the first part of the achieved and on the assessment schedule, existing project management, review existing project management tools to inform the establishment of a project schedule. Establishing your project schedule is your next task. So now, you guys have done a really good job. I'm really impressed with what's happened here, and hopefully we will continue to share this in the future. This is really, really high quality. Some really good analysis, some reflections on what's interesting about it. There's a little bit of reflection on your experience and understanding of it, which is really good. Like, there's some really, really good tools in here. So well done, guys. Okay, so for the next part of your portfolio, you need to critically analyze. Now, that's your merit and excellence stuff, your merit stuff. It's not for excellence. So for merit here, you want to do a critical analysis. Now, a critical analysis is not being critical of planning tools. It's actually critiquing planning tools. So you might look at that from, so that's on this bit here, and we will talk about reflection on the practices of others, because they link together really, really well, although this is required for achieved, where this is not. Okay, so if we go to my website, you can see some examples of what this might look like. So under project management tools, I've got project schedules here, analysis of planning tools. So that is the link to both of the tables that you've got for each class. So if you feel like there's something in another class's table that you find quite interesting, you can access that as well. Now, in this part here, I've talked about my experience and how I use planning tools. I've talked about everything that I use, which is really great. Now, I appreciate that we haven't had Mr. Williams talk to you yet. I'm hoping that still might happen, and then we can add that into your reflections maybe next week. Now, when we talk about the critical analysis, we're actually talking about comparing and contrasting. And I don't want you to go and compare and contrast, for instance, the value of a Gantt chart against using a diary or a year planner. You might do that, and that might make sense to you. But what I want you to think about, not only from that perspective, but comparing apples to apples. So, for instance, a Gantt chart and a work breakdown structure, which is the tool that I've used. So I've compared and contrasted them and talked about how a Gantt chart for me is practical and it's a useful tool and it's easy to link to a timeline. But I find them boring to use. So I find I don't keep up with it. What makes it boring? I'm not 100% sure. It's maybe the very linear layout, and I think I'm probably more into the logical as opposed to linear. So definitely the work breakdown structure works better from a logical structure for me. Then with my weekly planner, I've talked about paper versus digital and done the compare and contrast with that. Now, I'm going to run out of time again with this one. So the next one we will talk about